Hey guys, it's RockTheGolem, and welcome to Rainswept, an indie game off of itch.io that allows us to play the role of Detective Michael Anderson as he goes into the town of Pineview to assist local police with a case that seems to be simple. According to what the game is actually telling me, it's supposed to be a situation where we come across what is a murder-suicide between two couples. But based on rumors that we'll be finding out from the townsfolk, and also aspects of Michael Anderson's past, we're going to find some things that actually start to challenge his sanity. Now, there is a lot to read on the page about this game. I'm not going to get into it because I actually want to see what this game has to offer in its entirety. So let us start out with a new game and see what happens. I don't have a mouse cursor right now, so it doesn't appear that it will allow me to use the mouse. Monday, 2:14 a.m., October 7th, 1996. Yay, a game that actually takes place in the past. Seems like most games nowadays are obsessed with taking place in the future. I don't know what it is, but that just seems to be the way. Oh boy, that's a gun. Oh, that's a gun. And he did. He did. You know, this shot actually kind of reminds me of the opening scene of, what was it? Not Life is Strange, jeez. Walking Dead, the Telltale game, the first one. It reminds me of, like, driving along with Lee being in the back of the cop cruiser. Music by Micah Mike. I don't know. You can pronounce that in many ways, apparently. But already, I'm liking the art style. Like, the close-up shots are kind of a little raw, I guess you could say. But, like, these shots like this, where it's more like the environmental ambience from further away, I like those. These ones seem a little too simplistic. I mean, I do love minimalist artwork and stuff like that. I have nothing against it. I've used it plenty of times myself. I just don't think it works that well, that close up. But that's just me. That's my personal opinion. You guys could like it, you guys can hate it. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Why not? Monday, it's 7 in the morning, the next day, October 7th. So they really didn't waste any time calling this guy in. Press E on keyboard or A on controller. Controller it is then. All right, I'm here. Time to see what this is all about. Action, interact. Oh, interact with A. Movement, hold the right trigger to run. Inventory, talk to, use, and look. Okay. There is one thing that already kind of bothers me about this game, which is the premise that if it's a simple murder-suicide, why do they have to call in a detective from outside of the district? I mean, that's just kind of me, but all right, let's see here. That's my car. Can I fix my car? I just got here. I'm not going back now. I don't know. This seems pretty cut and dry here, Mike. What should we do? There is no background and foreground movement. It's literally just all left and right. Terrible. What? I said terrible. Terrible business, all this. This was only a matter of time. Everyone knows that. I know, still, they were so young. Young and stupid, you mean? I've heard the stories I've heard. I guess you're right. It was just a matter of time. What? It was a matter of time. It's really coming down today. We should get back home. A few more minutes. I want to see what happens. Nothing's going to happen. I'm going to catch a cold. That's all. Well, thank you, exposition people. I really appreciate you filling me in on what has happened. They've been here a while, it looks like. Can I steal their car? No, why would I do that? Oh, that's awesome. Seriously, guys, you gotta work a little bit more crowd control here. You're not doing a very good job. I'm also not doing a very good job of keeping track of when these icons pop up. That's the way inside. I wonder why Chief sent me all the way to Pineview for this case. Only one way to find out. Okay, so maybe we'll get that explanation I'm looking for. The crowd is too close to the crime scene. The number of cops are too few. This is poor. Well, that right there is a pretty decent excuse. They don't have the people to handle it all. An open window. Well, that's suspicious. Now, what's he up to? Looks like he's doing a horrible job of lining up that crime scene tape. Man, please, you need to back away a little. What happened here? A murder. Johnny, get the umbrella. Granny, I want to leave. Can I go back to the shop? Could see this coming a mile away. Ma'am, please. Granny, please. All right, Johnny, let's go. There's no point standing here now. I knew this would happen. We should have done something. If all you guys knew this was going to happen, then why didn't you do something? God damn it, you're all terrible people. There's nothing we could have done. Chris is responsible, I'm sure. It's hard to disagree, but let's not speculate. I agree. In the eyes of the law, everyone is innocent until guilty. Or dead. In which case you might still be innocent, but you're dead. Detective Anderson, right? The chief is inside. They've been waiting for you. Tell the crowd to back away. You need to push the crowd further from the scene, officer. What? You'll have to speak up. I can't hear you over the rain. The crowd. Handle them. There could be evidence out here. Oh, yes, I'm trying. Hey, Williams, what the hell are you doing? Trying to prop up this tape, sir. It won't stay. What are you trying to prop it up on? It's literally knee-high shrubbery. We'll get some sticks and drive them in. Yes, sir. Richard. Don't call for Richard. Richard's on leave. Do it yourself. Goodness. Sorry, detective. The thing is, we're short of manpower here. We weren't prepared for this kind of thing. First time in decades. And on top of it, this rain out of nowhere. Just get the crowd under control. I'm heading inside. Yes, detective. Don't worry. Richard. God damn it, he did it too. I mean, Williams. Oh, these cops are terrible. They don't know their job at all. All right, door. Let's go inside. Should I go in? Yes. Wait. Yeah, let's go in. Screw it. No point hanging around here. Oh. Oh, that's some dead people. God. God had nothing to do with it. That's the sheriff. I should talk to him first. Yes, why not just walk through the crime scene and just talk to the chief because he's... Oh, look. Oh, I thought I was just going to walk on the dead body. But look, I'm standing in blood evidence. Michael? Huh? Uh-oh. No. My seizures are kicking in. Detective, are you okay? I think so. Yeah. Wow, you bounced back quick, dude. I guess I'm just a little tired after the long drive here. That doesn't seem like fatigue. Detective Anderson, right? The head office called in to say that you'd be joining us here for the investigation. I'm Sheriff Harris, and this is Lieutenant Watt. We appreciate the department sending help, but, I don't think we'll need it. This case is ready to be wrapped up. What do we have here? The victims here are Christopher Green, age 26, died from a bullet wound to the head, looks self-inflicted. And Diane Miller, age 24, single bullet wound through the chest. The victims lived together, were unmarried. Oh, they were living in, what's it called? Out of wedlock, that's what I'm looking for. Living a life of sin. And yeah, any sign of an intruder. There was an open window. No signs of forced entry. The door was locked from the inside when we arrived. An officer climbed through the open window here to open the door. There are no footprints outside that window. Exit the office. Except the officers. Except the officers, yes. He was careful. No sign of struggle or marks on the body either. You know what? Any time of death. Why not? What was the time of death? According to the next door neighbor, a single gunshot was heard around, so that's, for those of you who don't speak military time, that's 10:15 at night. 12:15 at night, sorry, my bad. We received the call about, so that's at 12:20 at night, and we're here in another 5 minutes, so 12:25. We found them dead upon arrival and confirmed the timing. And the weapon is probably that gun that's right there in the corner, marked with an evidence tag. What do we know about the weapon? Both shots were fired from an M1911A1 .45 caliber pistol. The ballistics report will let us know more. And witnesses? Any witnesses? Just the next door neighbor who claims to have heard a single gunshot. We can interview him shortly. But see, that makes no sense. If Diane has a bullet wound through her stomach and Chris has a bullet wound in his head, why did he only hear one shot? Did I? Oh, let me replay that. Next door neighbor, gunshot was heard around 12:15. See the call 12:20, and they're at 12:25. So all he heard was a single gunshot. That makes no sense. Honestly speaking, detective, we think it's pretty obvious what's taking place here. What do you mean? They had a reputation. They weren't exactly a happy couple. The whole town knows this. Diane was shot at point-blank range with Chris's gun, probably by Chris. He then went ahead and shot himself, as the wound is clearly self-inflicted. So you see, sending you here unnecessarily complicates things. Question their abilities. Why not? I'm beginning to think it was a very good idea, in fact. It's obviously a case of murder-suicide, detective. So everything's figured out already? So we've got it all figured out already, huh? If that was sarcasm, I'll ignore it, but yes, more or less. Are you suggesting there was domestic violence involved? It would seem so. It was never reported, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. So, rumors? You may call it that, but where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not sure about that. And they were never really able to fit in this town. They were new here, moved in about 6 months ago. Never got out much, didn't make any friends. We don't need to analyze the obvious, detective. That would only be inefficient. Officer Blunt will assist you through the course of your work here. Hello, detective. I'm assuming that's Officer... Wow. And, okay. She just ran in. Why not? Right through the crime scene. Excellent police work there, officer. And, on more thing, that should be one more thing. We're looking to wrap this case up quickly and cleanly. We don't want to drag it if it can be helped. I think you mean drag it out. We have an important festival coming around in a week's time. So you might say this is, rather bad timing. So there's no need to go around complicating things, all right? Screw you, buddy. I'm going to complicate the shit out of this case. Just get me a story that works and we can close this case quickly. You know what? I'll give it a shot. I'll give doing things that way a shot. Yeah, all right then. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. I'd much rather leave, and again, running through the crime scene. Why not? Anyway, have a look around the room if you'd like. Come talk to me when you're done. I'm shaking. I'm terrified. There's blood everywhere. No, seriously, why am I shaking like that? There we go, I fixed it. I don't want to talk to you just yet. Let's take a look around here. What's this? It's a dead body. How long has this been here? It's signed Chris, 96. Oh, I'm guessing Chris built some of the furniture around this house. I love how he would have marked the furniture with the year he built it. Gunshot to the stomach. The damage and the residue would suggest the shot was taken at point-blank range. That rules out the possibility of her being shot from the open window. She would have been in line of sight from the outside, though. There's no mistaking it. The perpetrator would have to be inside the house to cause this kind of a wound. Whether that was Chris or someone else, that's hard to say at the moment. It could also have been her. He could have come home to find her shot, like having shot herself. I believe that possibility also exists. Before we talk to the... screw it. Let's look at the gun, actually. Fuck that. This caliber pistol, as the lieutenant said, it looks pretty old. There's 4 rounds in the magazine. This gun can hold 7. 3 rounds have been fired from this gun at some point in time. 2 were fired last night. Or was it 3? Or was the gun loaded with only 6 of the possible 7 rounds? The gun belonged to Chris, according to Lieutenant Watts. Let's assume Chris or Diane weren't the ones to use it. Is there anyone else who could have known where they kept the gun? From Pineview, I really doubt it. Remember, no signs of forced entry. Could it be someone that they were comfortable with or trusted? No one I could think of. You're a big help. Alright, officer. What can you offer me? Hey, detective. Need any help? What's the plan? Have a look around the room. Once you're done, talk to Lieutenant Watts. That's your big contribution to this case. Thanks a lot. 45 caliber ACP rounds. It's a box of 20 rounds. There are 17 here, 3 are missing. 2 were used during the murder. What about the 3rd? And my moonwalk is getting much better. I've been practicing, apparently. Okay, come on, show me Chris. There we go. Bullet wound to the head. The skull is badly damaged. Most of the side has been blown off. His body position and the way he fell would indicate that he was sitting sideways on the chair, facing where Diane's body is now. But in that scene we saw earlier, someone was facing out toward the window. It looked like they were standing, actually. The angle of the shot indicates that he was shot from this side. If someone shot him, they were standing in front of the refrigerator. No clues here, though. He could have been shot from that window. At the moment it's shut. Must get it checked for fingerprints and footsteps outside. Okay. Could someone have entered and left through here? We should have the fingerprint results in a couple of days, detective. Don't forget there aren't any footprints outside. Shut up, Lieutenant. If someone shot him from outside, then Chris would have sat facing the refrigerator. That would make sense. That way the killer would need to enter the house. But in that case, who shot Diane? Examine his hand. Gunpowder residue on his right hand. Hard to disagree with the lieutenant here. This is strong evidence for the victim shooting himself, unless it was made to look that way. It is also a possibility. There is wine on the table to examine now, or we'll examine the chair, because for some reason, it's very difficult to differentiate what it is we want to look at. The chair's fallen on its back. Looks like Chris fell off the chair before or after being shot. So, If the chair fell back, why is Chris on his side? Red wine. It looks like a new bottle was opened yesterday. No one drank from this glass. It would seem that Chris was sitting by himself at the table drinking wine, waiting for someone to join him. Probably Diane? Whether he was waiting for her or someone else, we don't know yet. A glass of wine was knocked over. This looks like wine, but there seems to be blood in here as well. How did blood spatter in this direction? It doesn't make sense. Officer Blunt, I think there's been more than the 2 gunshots we're seeing here. Can I examine the blood? Kind of? Maybe? Come on. Pop it up. There it is. This chair's not been moved. Looks like Chris was sitting alone when the murder happened. It's possible. So we've looked at that. We looked at the chair, the wine, Chris. A drawer, huh? Oh, the rounds. Okay, we did look at that. Look at the gun. Talk to the officer. Whoa, did I see a second thing pop up for the officer? Hold on. Yeah. Where is it? I think I saw it. Come on. There it is. Not very professional. I hope they know what they're doing. Looking at those officers. Looked at her already. Looked at that. I guess we are done here for the time being. Shall we proceed? Yes. Yes, I'm done. All right, let's have a chat with Mr. Willis outside. The rain has finally let up. It's actually stopped entirely. So, whoa. Oh, I was smoking a cigarette, I guess. Did you just bring me coffee and the entire pot of coffee? Right, this is Mr. Willis. He lives right there next door. Coffee detective? Yes, please. Why not? Yes, thank you. You can ask him any questions you might have about last night. Right, Mr. Willis, can you tell me everything that you saw or heard during last night's events? Well, see, I headed off to bed around 11 p.m. like I usually do after a glass of whiskey. You don't need to go into that much detail, dude. Helps me sleep, you know. I don't care. Anyway, sometime around 12:15 a.m., I'd say, I was woken up by a loud bang. I ran to me bedroom window. Oh, that would be why. He's Irish. Oh, wow. We're breaking out the stereotypes already. That looked straight down at their place. And what did you see? Nothing. Their kitchen lights were on, but that's about it. I went to me phone and called Lieutenant Watts here straight away. Let's see. How long did it take you to get to the window? Why not? Once you heard the shot. About a couple of seconds, Detective. Not more than 5, I'd say. I nearly fell out of my bed when I heard the shot, so you might say I was halfway there already. Did you see anyone else in the street? No, Detective. Everything was exactly the same as always. And yeah, what about the 1 gunshot? Yes, the whiskey usually knocks me out pretty good, so if there'd been more, I didn't hear them. Interesting. Move on to other questions. Do you live alone? Yes, I do. Never got married. It's a long story. Don't care. One meant to be talked over a couple of whiskeys. Know what I mean? Apparently he's got an alcohol problem. Can anyone confirm your whereabouts? No, I was just at home, you see. Am I a suspect? It's procedure, Mr. I know Mr. Willis. He's cool. Dude, get off. Like, back off. Ignore and silent. React to the unprofessionalism on display. Yeah, I'm going to react. Says nothing. Oh, my lord. What? That was my reaction? Really? Okay. Did Chris and Diane have many visitors, friends, etc.? No, not at all, in fact. In all this time, I only maybe saw Jack coming over to fix their car, and Father Smith came over a couple times when they newly moved in, a year back almost. Nah, people rarely ever visited them because they mostly kept to themselves, see? Never been any friends here. But sometimes folks don't like those kinds either, so I can't really say. Know what I mean? No, please elaborate. You won't find anyone crying over their deaths here. Nobody really knew them. They never got out much. All right, fair enough. Any other info? I don't know if this will be useful, but you might have heard about Chris and Diane. They looked pretty happy when they first moved in. More recently, though, I heard Diane crying a couple times, usually late at night. See, the whiskey knocked me out early, so maybe that's why I never heard all this before, but a couple times I was up a little later. One night about a month ago, I heard pretty bad things. There were some loud noises, stuff being flung around and such, see? I heard someone crying. I was thinking to myself that maybe I should call the police, but then it quieted down all of a sudden. We never received any calls for domestic violence, but the people have often talked of stories of this kind. Can you remember when you heard this, Mr. Willis? Well, I was up late writing an important letter. I think it must have been somewhere between 1st and 3rd, to the 3rd of last month. 1st and 3rd to the 3rd of September. All right, anything else? No, that's all I know about this. Right, thanks for your help, Mr. Willis. We'll be in touch if we need anything else. No problem, and thanks for the coffee. Yeah, it's nice that you sobered up a little bit before you talked to the police. You drunk Irish bastard. Which I can say, because I'm part Irish. Come at me, bro. Well, I think that's got things, that's cleared up a lot of things. It has? Oh, come on, detective. You're supposed to be good at these things, aren't you? Mr. Willis didn't see anything outside the house after the gunshots, and there were no signs of anyone forcing entry either. On top of that, considering how rough things were between the two of them, you heard what Mr. Willis said, right? That doesn't prove anything. Jump to conclusions, seriously? We don't know the complete picture yet. Yeah, I'm not gonna, actually get up in this guy's face just yet. The amount of information we have as of now is very little. It's not the complete picture. We need to dig deeper if we want to know the truth and not just confirm our assumptions. Well, what about the door, huh? How is it locked from the inside? Explain that. I checked the door. It locks itself from the inside when you pull it closed. Closed, not close. Regardless of whether you pull it from the outside or push it from inside. Cop says nothing. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that there was no conclusive evidence yet. Well, fine then. Dig as deep as you'd like, detective. You won't find anything new here. I was perfectly capable of handling this case myself, but of course the head department had to complicate things. In any case, Sheriff Harris will probably want to wrap up this case before the festival, so don't expect him to wait for more than a week. So I've got a week to solve this then, huh? I have to head to the station now. Officer, escort Detective Anderson to his hotel. Will do, sir. And please don't try to sleep with me. It happened in L.A. Noire and didn't work out well for anyone. We'll come back in the evening to search the house. Letters, diaries, that sort of thing. Officer Blunt. Oh, okay, so it's telling us who the different one is. All right. When can we expect the autopsy results? Day after tomorrow, according to the coroner, but I'll confirm and let you know. Thank you. I'm guessing there were more than 2 bullets shot last night. We should take another look around the kitchen to make sure. 3 bullets, but all right. We're actually glad that you're here, you know, although the sheriff and Lieutenant Watts would rather not admit it, even to themselves. This is like the first murder we've had in the last 100 years or so we have no idea how to deal with it. Oh, you don't want to confess that. I mean, yeah, it's all right. I'll be nice to her. It's all right. I know what you mean. I just joined the force a month back, for instance, and a murder already. I'm not sure if I'm ready. I kind of knew them, you could say. I've never known anyone that's been murdered before, you know? It's kind of weird, a bit sad. I know as an officer I'm not supposed to feel that way and all. You'll be fine. Give it time. Thanks, detective. That means a lot. Yeah, what's with this festival about next week? The sheriff said there's a festival in town next week. What's it all about? Oh, it's an annual thing. We have it every October. There's a fair on the market street. There's food, rides. We get a lot of tourists from nearby states around that time. It's a good source of revenue for some of our smaller businesses here. That, of course, is less important than in the light of recent events. Good to hear you say that. Yes, so at least you're thinking like an officer. Of course, we can't go around trying to wrap up cases based on our assumptions, whatever the situation may be. I mean, these were people's lives that ended, and it's our job to figure out what really happened. So, I guess what I'm saying is, you can count on me during this investigation. Thanks. Tell me about Chris and Diane. What do you know about Chris and Diane? Well, not much. It's mostly that mostly what Mr. Willis said. Nobody really knew them. They came in here, kept to themselves, and never bothered making friends. Everyone thought they were some kind of weirdos. I admit I kind of agreed with that sentiment too. I feel bad about that now. It's no reason to make assumptions about people's character, and character can't be used as evidence. So I'd really like to help figure out what the real story is, whatever it may be. Alright, well I appreciate that. I'm hoping the local police will let me do the job I've been sent to do, though. I don't mean you. Detective, I know what you mean. Honestly speaking, Sheriff Harris is an asshole. Nice. And says nothing. I'm serious, he doesn't care about anything except running off home and taking it easy. He literally did run out of the friggin' house when I was done talking to him. This case probably ruined his plans to relax and enjoy the festival week. I hate people like that. Lieutenant Watts, though, he's really sweet. I know he comes across a little obnoxious, but oh my god. Oh. I thought he was responding to what she was saying, not that there was someone in the middle of the road. Wait, did he actually hit someone? I saw her. She was right there. Why am I seeing her? Why am I thinking of her? Who are you talking about? And what's wrong with your car if you didn't actually hit anything? Why am I inspecting a shovel? Tar shovel. Wonder what Jack uses them for. I don't know. Maybe laying down tar? You ever think that's what a tar bucket is for? How's you doing? Geez, I hope she's not hurt. Can I walk past her? I can. Nice. Can't walk. Oh, I can. I can sprint. I forgot about that. You know what? I'll talk to her. How's the car looking? I don't know. Ask Jack. He's working on it. Talk to me when you're done. All right. Wow. Okay, then. My car. Got it. My poor car. I get moonwalking in place, shaking in place. I don't know if it's my controller or if it's the game or a combination of the two, but good lord. I mean, admittedly, I do need a new controller. But, alright, Jack. Hold on. Before I talk to Jack. Ooh, let's see what's out here. Jack got us here in that. Ooh, hello, convertible. Oof, what a beauty. I wonder if it's Jack's. Probably. Unless he's working on it. But, okay, let's go back, talk to Jack, see what's going on with the car. He said his name's Jack. It's a good thing he was passing by when the crash happened. You look kind of uncomfortable. Don't you need a car to be on a ramp or something? Nah, man, you worry too much. What's the issue with the car? Well, the headlights and the bumper's gone. You need to have them replaced. I'm gonna have to check to see if I've got a replacement part so I can fix it. How long will it take? A couple of days, 3 maybe, depending on how quickly I can get the parts. Shouldn't take more than 4 days at most. Oh boy. Hey dude, can you fetch me my big red wrench? Should be in a toolbox outside. Alright. Yeah, can you imagine if I said no? You're amazing, bud. Thanks. Is this the toolbox? Yes, it is. Let's see what's in here. He asked for the red wrench, I believe. Yes. Can you imagine if I brought him the blue wrench? There you go. Yes, that's it. I love this wrench. Thanks, bud. You know what? Ask about the convertible. Why not? That red convertible there, is that yours? Yeah, man, that's a 65 Mustang. Love that ride. I got it used for pretty cheap off a guy who couldn't take care of her anymore. Luckily, the car's got something that keeps it running like new now. Big red wrench? You know, the red wrench is pretty awesome, but it's nothing if it's not got someone who can make it work. Me. I spend all my free time on her, fixing her up and making sure she runs better than new. And I keep her happy by taking her on long, beautiful drives on the roads outside town. Wow. How about the construction stuff now? What do you use that char and tovel for? Oh, good. I'm having a stroke. Help me, guys. What do you use that tar and shovel for? That dude. Do a bit of construction work means on the side sometimes, you know? Fixing up driveways and stuff for some extra cash. That seemed a little suspicious. Detective, you're here investigating Diane's murder, right? And Chris, yes. Do you have any information that could help us? I don't know about information, man. I just know that he did it. What do you mean? Chris, he killed her. Yeah, why do you say that? Everyone can see it coming. Diane, they say she was troubled, scared of him even. Someone in this town should have done something. We all knew this could happen, but no one cared enough about them to bother interfering. How do you know all this? I don't know, rumors around town mostly. Did you know them? Not really. Anyone here barely knew them. They were not the kind of to come out and make friends with their new neighbors, it looks like. They still felt like outsiders to the rest of us. What were you doing last night, good sir? What was I doing last night? Yes, that's what I asked. Oh right, I drove a couple miles from here and drank a few beers while I enjoyed the view. At night? Yeah, the stars, man, you see? Was there anyone with you? Did you meet anyone? Nah, man, there's nothing like the pleasure of your own company sometimes, which I actually tend to agree with. Alright, thanks for your help, Jack. We shall be back if we have any more questions. Of course you will. What do you mean, Jack? For your car, man. Come back when it's fixed. You get way too serious way too fast, man. Chill out. I say nothing. Sounds like a bit of a beatnik, but... Ooh, wait. There's a... There we go. That thing. Jack's Auto Repair Shop. Jack's the name of the guy fixing my car. Wow, was that necessary to know? Oh, she's not sitting down anymore. I can push her? That's not good. Let's go. Let's be free. Yay. I think I just broke the game. Hey. Hi. Are you okay? Yeah, it'll take him 3 to 4 days to fix the car. That's a pity. Yeah. But what happened back there, Detective? How did we hit that tree? You know what? I'm going to be honest with her. I thought I saw something. What did you see? A person. I thought I saw a person. That's kind of creepy. Yeah. But are you okay otherwise? I mean, I don't know you, so I don't know if this is a regular thing. No offense. That's okay. I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, you collapsed back there at the crime scene too, and then this. Yeah, I don't know. I've been a little dizzy all day. Maybe I just need a nap. Seeing this kind of stuff kind of bums me out. I'm just saying if there's anything wrong, you could talk to me about it. Don't hesitate. I won't. Detective. Hey, it's Jack. And look, I'm back. Yay. That, I don't know if the game was supposed to do that, but that seems a little game-breaking to me. Yes? I'm just gonna stand here and smoke my cigarette all cool. Oh, wait, here comes the officer. Now let's all just stand here. I'm gonna drive to the next town for some spare parts. Want me to drop you at the hotel or something? I like to take a walk around town first, actually. I called up the station from Jack's phone. A car is on the way. They'll drop us off at the Market Street, and your luggage at the hotel. You take care now, dude, until we meet again. Jack seems like a really cool kind of guy. Here we are, the famous Pine View Market. I didn't know it was famous. I'm kidding, not much here to see, really. Fair enough. Let's see if we can talk to some of the locals here. Alright, it isn't very busy at this time of day, but there should be a few people out here. Just let me know when you'd like to go back to the hotel. We can come back and talk to them another day. Pine View Brook. Books. Books. The things you read. Not brooks like the things you swim in. Fiction or nonfiction? I'm a big fan of fiction. Fiction. Me too. Aw, how cute. Can I push you off the screen again? Nope. I walk right past you this time. Let's see. 4 p.m. That's very thoughtful of them to put the time up there for me. Oop, sign. Yeah, what do you have for specials today? Ooh, cherry pie. You should come here for breakfast someday. The owner, Mark, is a pretty great guy. You mean me? Just happens to be sitting outside of his shop as opposed to running it. That must be Mark. I sure am. That was supposed to be a thought bubble, though. So, hey, detective, have a seat. Do you want some tea, coffee? My cafe's extremely cozy and warm. No, that's all right. Come over here if you want a pint. Oh, God, competition. Keep your unhealthy habits to yourself, Alan. Too much coffee's unhealthy, too. He's not wrong. Caffeine can really screw you up after a while. Also, if you haven't noticed, he's already smoking a cigarette. Ignore him. He just likes to annoy me. And yet, I let it get to me. Who is that? That's Alan, owner of the bar next door, and my brother. Oh, that makes total sense now. Twin brother. Uh-oh, we've got twins in the mix now. Suspicion abounds. Not that you know by the way we lead our lives. I don't know how we ended up being as polar opposites. I know, I got all the good stuff. Shoo, go away. How long have you lived in Pine View? I'm assuming your whole lives. We left for the city when I was about 10. My dad was looking for better work. I returned as soon as I graduated about 9 years back. I prefer the life here. Big cities just aren't for me. Now it's just me, my books, and my coffee shop. Life is simple, and I love it. Did Alan come with you? No, Alan, he only joined me here 5 years back. He had a bit of trouble in his old life and wanted a fresh start. Maybe he could tell you more about that. Fair enough. Do you live alone? No, I'm married. I've been for about 6 years now. Met my wife in my own cafe, actually. Aw, it's a cute story. We were very happy for you, Mark. Says nothing. Does Alan also live with you? Nope, but he lives close by. Was he in last night? Yes, I'd think so. I didn't check or meet him, though. More questions. Where were you last night? Sure, as always, I closed my place by 8 p.m. I bought some supplies from the general store down the street and then went home. I assume the storekeeper will remember that. Yes, Mrs. Brown was in last night at the time. She should be able to confirm what I just said. And Alan, could he confirm this? He didn't come to work yesterday, took the day off. Said he was feeling unwell, so he stayed at home all day. Looks like that passed, luckily. He looks fine today. Anyway, I went back after that, changed, and went for a jog as usual. Came back, took a nice, long, warm bath, made myself a cup of coffee, and had my dinner. Then read a book for about an hour or so, and was probably asleep by 10:30 p.m. A pleasant, ordinary evening. It doesn't sound bad at all, actually. More questions? Let's ask about Chris and Diane. Jesus Christ, so many questions to ask this guy. Do you see them often? No, barely. A handful of times, maybe. They came into the cafe a few times, but that was in the early days when they first moved in. They wouldn't say much to me or anyone else, and mostly kept to themselves. Or I could say they didn't have eyes for anyone else. To put it bluntly, they looked very much in love. What can you tell me about them? Anything that stands out? Well, I kind of identify with Chris in a way. It sounds like he moved here for peace of mind, the peace of mind this place provides, and start a small business for himself. What business? He'd been trying to get a hotel project off the ground here from what I hear. He had trouble getting the project approved. Maybe Father Smith can tell us more about it. Why would the local pastor know about getting a hotel approval? I don't know. He's involved. Oh, he's involved in the planning committee. Answered my question. Thank you very much, officer. I wanted to ask you something else. More questions? Did you notice anything unusual in the past few days? Anything out of the ordinary? No, can't say I have. Everything's been pretty much the same as usual. I feel like there were more questions. Nope, guess not. It doesn't let me scroll through the options very quickly, it seems. We'll talk later. All right, Mark, we'll talk later. See you around, detective. See you around, Mark. Alan. How you doing? What's up, detective? One sec, I gotta get into optimum question-asking pose here. Hi, Alan. Officer Blunt. Tell me about yourself. How long have you been here? That sort of thing. Sure, if you've talked to my brother Mark already, you probably know I moved here 5 years ago. My wife left me and I wanted to get away from it all. Thought I'd come in here again after all these years and give the place another shot. Turns out it's just as bloody boring as it was when I was 10. But hey, it got me out of a place I'd begun to hate even more, so it's an improvement, you know? And you get used to the pace eventually. Mark did me a big favor, giving me half of his cafe to start a business in. He's not too pleased with the business I chose to run, though. Heh, he's a good guy. Did you know Chris and Diane? Not at all. I'm the kind of person who minds his own business. I don't go interfering with people's affairs and their lives. What do you mean? I just don't go wasting my time getting to know people if there's no need for it. To me, they looked like they preferred to mind their own business as well. So no, I don't know them at all. Where were you last night? I'm sure Mark may have already told you I was at home. I wasn't feeling well, so I stayed home instead. Is there anyone that can confirm this? Apart from Mark, I don't know. Since I didn't leave home, no one saw me, you know? Yeah, well, that's pretty cut and dry to me. We'll talk later, if the need arises. Okay. Hello, old man Grandpa, with bakery behind you. That's Grandpa, owner of Grandpa's Bakery. Is he your grandfather? No, he isn't. Is his name Grandpa, then? I don't really know, actually. Okay, then. Fair enough. Grandpa, let's talk. How are your donuts and coffee today? I'm not your grandpa. And your name is? Grandpa. That's amazing. Mr. Grandpa, I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions. And I was wondering if I could ask Mrs. Brown here on a date. Oh, he's that kind of old man. But wondering isn't doing, is it? Just look at her. Oh, boy. Makes me feel 40 years younger, she does. Do you ever plan to grow up, Grandpa? Any more growing up and I might just die. And I ain't planning on doing that before I ask you out. Goodness, unbelievable behavior. Such immaturity at this age. She likes me. I know she does. You're deluded. Woohoo! That's amazing. Anyway, you had questions, young man. I thought I did. Oh, so many questions. Good Lord. Ask about Chris and Diane. What can you tell me about them? When they first moved in, Chris would often come in the evening and buy some things from me. He'd come in daily almost, looked pretty cheerful too. Then a couple months after that, he just stopped coming. The last few times he came, I could see that something wasn't right. Maybe trouble with the missus, I don't know. He and Diane went to church maybe a handful of times. Once or twice they came over here after for coffee and donuts. They were quite a couple, I tell you. He was the quiet and nonchalant one. She an exciting, electrifying energy. A classic case of opposites attracted to each other. If what people say is true, I don't know how things went so wrong so fast. But then with these things you can never say. That was about 4 or 5 months back. After that, I hardly ever saw them out here again. Something else to ask. I'm assuming he's probably lived in Pineview his whole life. Forever. My family's been here for generations. I guess I'm the last one in line now, and it's 4 generations, not from generations. My shop's been here for 4 generations, too. You know, and I think I've taken real good care of it. Oh, and she's taken real good care of me, too. Where were you last night? Around 12. Where do you think I was? Sleeping? Were you asleep? That's right. What do you expect an old man to do at that time of night? Can anyone confirm this? No, I live alone. Sorry. Noticing anything unusual, out of the ordinary in recent days? Now that I think about it, I might actually have. Yes, Mrs. Brown's been tying her hair in a much tighter bun lately. I wonder what that means. Is she softening up and trying to hide that fact? Grandpa, you notice these things. I mean it when I say it, beautiful. I'm a passionate lover. Very passionate. Ruined it. Hello. I was thinking about the possible murders. Did you notice anything unusual leading up to that? Oh, no. Much the same. Can't say I did. And I'm assuming he said he lives by himself. You know what? I'll ask it anyway. Yes, I do. Kids left Pineview for the big city. Too boring here, they say. It's been many years since the wife died. So I run this shop here by myself, and I live down the street, pretty close by. But that's all right. I've got friends here to keep me company. Officer Blunt pays me a visit every day, for instance. It's always a pleasure to meet you, Grandpa. That's whatever. I'm not going to get into semantics with that. Also, there's Miss Brown. She makes every day exciting. Please, God, give me strength. Oh, look how she flirts. I like Grandpa already. That's amazing. All right, Grandpa, we'll talk later. Who you calling Grandpa, eh? I'm not your Grandpa. It's Mr. Grandpa to you, Sonny. Those donuts sure do look good. What do you mean they look good? They're the best in Pineview. The best damn donuts made with Grandpa's love and warmth. Want to buy some? Maybe later. Thanks, Gramps. I'm not your Grandpa. God damn it. I'm going to keep falling into that trap. I can see. So there's Mrs. Brown. Looks like she's the last person on the whoa. Behold the majestic mountainous view. And it's still going. That sun is massive. We're all going to die. Are we going to zoom back in? Guess not. Hello, ma'am. Who's this? Or who is it? Ah, you're that detective, aren't you? Come to ask about the murders? Something troubles you, boy. What is it? What do you mean? I know a troubled soul when I see one, detective, but I understand you don't have the time for such questions. That is good. Neither do I. Now, what is it? What can you tell me about Chris and Diane? Ah, those two, doomed from the start. Why do you say that? I told you, I knew a troubled soul when I see one. And those two, I've seen it so many times over the years, one can always tell. Others will tell you that they were very much in love, but something wasn't right. I always felt that. And when things really did start going wrong, everyone heard about it. Yeah, how long have you lived here? I'm curious. How long have you lived in Pineview, Miss Brown? I was born here. I've barely stepped outside Pineview all my life. I started this shop when I was about 25 and had to support myself once I lost my husband. You have family here? Johnny's the only family I've got. He's my grandson. Lost my husband in the war. I was about 25. You must have seen Johnny, right? Always running around taking photos with his camera. I saw him at the crime scene. His parents left him in a tough situation by making some stupid decisions in their lives. So I take care of him now. He's a good boy. He spends a lot of time helping his grandma around the shop. I'm getting older now, too. Willpower and mental strength can only get you so far, you know. Time catches up with you eventually. Not that I lack any mental strength. I've single-handedly taken care of a lot here. You really have, Mrs. Brown. I really look up to you. You're doing well. You're doing well, young lady. You're doing quite well for yourself. And where were you last night? I went to bed around 9 p.m. Johnny could probably confirm that. He was home, too. As far as you know, if you went to bed at 9, he could have snuck out. All right, detective, take care now. Thank you. All right, let us go sprinting through the hills of Pineview. Because apparently this is what we're meant to do. We don't have to worry about the murders and the likes of which are trivial mortal matters. We're just sprinting up the hill toward the church. And there's Father What's-His-Face gonna throw himself from the cliff. Oh wait, he stopped. He's reconsidered, and he's decided to gaze at the cherry blossom and talk to us. Father Smith? Ah, hello, Detective Anderson. Detective Anderson, new to the town, I assume? You think? Yes, only just arrived. I wanted... That is good. That is good. And what do you think of Pineview? Do you like it here? It's beautiful. It's not peaceful. People are dead. It's not boring. People are dead. So it's beautiful. Pineview is really beautiful. It is, isn't it? While you're here, you must enjoy the views, breathe in the fresh air, take a walk in the woods. But then you must want to preserve this beauty too, yes? Leave here without taking anything away from us. There is a way of life here, and I do my best to maintain that for the good of my people. The ones that are here on more than just a merry whim. I see. Anyway, Detective, you had questions? What about Chris and Diane? What can you tell me about Chris and Diane? Did you know them well? Not too well. They came to church a couple of times after they moved to Pineview, but then soon stopped coming at all. They withdrew themselves from the rest of the community, and I can't say that helped them. Friends can help in difficult times, and it's obvious they were beginning to have really difficult times by the end. If they'd continued to come to church, I could have offered some guidance. Sometimes relationships can entangle you. But unfortunately, it had to come to this. Whatever their troubles, it looked like they made each other suffer for it. I'm sure you'll learn what most of us here already know. In any case, I wish you luck with your investigation. What can you tell me about the hotel project? Are you part of the as you're part of the Pineview Planning Committee, can you tell me what that was about exactly? Sure, Chris wanted to open a hotel here with about 20 rooms or so. Not much of a hotel, more like a motel, but he said he wanted to keep it small in accordance with our bylaws, but even 20 was almost pushing it. These things always grow out of hand. Once the tourists started coming in, they'd see how untouched a place Pineview really is. Demand would increase, and of course Chris wouldn't want to pass up the opportunity to cash in on that. Regardless, we never got to that point. Chris always kept messing up his papers whenever he came in for approval. He'd either misplaced them or messed up some of the details. I guess the delays cost him money too. It was all going downhill fast, and well, then this happened. So what about last night? I was here all night. I finished up some work and then went to bed by 10 p.m., I'd say. Alright, we'll talk later, I guess. We sure will. Huh. So much for talking to the officer to go home. Hotel rooms, they all feel the same, don't they? Reminds me of better times. Why? Creepy. Painting with no face. Turn the lights off? That's better. There's a chair. I don't really need to go right now. Should I go anyway? Use the toilet. Don't use the toilet. No. Nah, I'm good. I thought that was the chair I was looking at, not the frickin' toilet. It's too cold to go outside now, maybe later. Well, let's go to bed, fully clothed, why not? Yeah, go to sleep, why not? You know, I really need to get some sleep today. What the hell happened back there today? After all these days, it's been one day, goddamn. No, Mark, there's no peace of mind here. The silence, it only gets your thoughts, it only lets your thoughts get louder. So there's something on his mind. Did he kill someone? Oh, I think we might find out. Let me see if I can walk off the screen. Hey, I'm off the screen. I don't know why the game keeps... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can't get back on the screen. Well, I done did it, folks. I done broke the game. Restart level. Thank God they've got that option in there. Oh, boy. Note to the developers. Am I dreaming? If you don't want me to break the game, don't allow me the opportunity to break the game. That's twice now. Well, once I did break it. Once I almost broke it. You guys have got to fix those. This is a horrible dream. I'm just running down the redness. Do I jump? Do I go? Farewell, cruel world. Oh God, no. Not the tree. Not the tree that blows its leaves straight up next to the tiny blue door. No, I don't want to see this. I don't want to remember. I need to get out. Why am I here? I need to wake up. I need to wake up. Wake up. Dude, I want to know what was going on. What the? Am I awake? I can't move. Oh, he had a night terror. This is horrifying. What's going on? Try to move arms. Try to move legs. Try Try to move head. This is hopeless. I can't... Wait, what's that? Whoa. Oh, hello, Banshee woman. What the hell? Holy shit. Abigail, is that you? Michael, you did this. Why? How could you? It wasn't my fault. What happened, Abigail? It was an accident. Think again, Michael. You did it. It was my fault. You're right. It was my fault. Michael, how can you live after doing something like that? You have no idea how hard it is to go on without you. Then why go on? What's the point? Oh, what is that? Why is it like a shadowy me with, like, X-ray indigestion going on right now? What's the point? I don't know. I have to. For your happiness? Do you feel you deserve that anymore? Or for this case, do you think anyone even cares about it? For whom, Michael? You protect yourself from thoughts about me. You need to hide me from yourself so that you can live. Is it worth it? No, I'm not sure. I miss you, Michael. Huh. Gasp. Tuesday, 6:55. It's literally just been one day. You know what? I'm going to take this to an hour before I end it. Why not? Oh, boy. This actually feels like it could be long enough to do a multiple episode playthrough. But the page said it was only supposed to be about an hour long. So we'll see what happens. Back at the house, nothing's going on, and we just drop in from the ceiling. So, what are we looking for? Anything that tells us about Chris and Diane. Nobody in this town seems to know much about them. Maybe their room can tell us more. On it, detective. Are you really, though? Moisturizer, body butter, makeup items. So just cosmetics. A mirror. That's me. You're looking better today, detective. I am? Relatively. Did you sleep well last night? Kind of, yeah. Well, hope tonight's better then. Not counting on it. Says nothing. Oh, picture. It's a photograph of Chris and Diane. That's easy enough. Come on. Stop turning left. Why? Okay, what is going on? The controls on this game are so freaking wonky. There's a diary here. Oh, here we go. It's empty. Damn it. A bunch of travel magazines. Looks like they had a subscription. A book on chemistry. A couple of fiction books. What's this? The Dreamer's Guide to the World. Looks like a self-improvement book about travel. Interesting. There's a handwritten note on the first page. To Diane, never give up on your dreams. Love, Chris. 3rd of December, 1995. So just not even a year ago. This must have been Diane's bedside. That's a bed. It's still unmade. Says nothing. Yeah, no. Oh, I can't lay in the bed. Come on, I'm tired. I haven't been sleeping well. That's a nice painting. Feel like I've seen that somewhere. That looks like Pineview, actually. Isn't that the church there on the cliffside? It's locked. The key could be here somewhere. Are you going to find the key for me? Or, detective, check this out. There's some interesting stuff on the bulletin board. I'm pretty sure there's other interesting stuff to check out as well. It's a photo of Chris and Diane and some guy. Do you recognize the third guy, Officer Blunt? I don't think I've ever seen him. Must be from outside town. Trash can? Financial calculations. Looks like they were planning for something big. Or at least one of them was. More do-it-yourself, chemistry and travel books, and a couple of novels. What's on the board? Let's see what we have here. A list of locations. Madagascar, Antarctica, Ukraine, question mark. And below the list, in a different handwriting, it says, half the world away. It's underlined twice. There's a shopping list, some phone numbers, pictures of animals, the oceans. I think they're pictures of Madagascar? Quite possible. Another list. Woodworking projects to do. 1, bookcase for living room. 2, custom chair for Diane. 3, bookcase for bedroom. This has been struck through. 4, some front lawn project. I'm guessing Chris was into woodworking. Yeah, he was. Oh, what's this? 1, talk about issues. Bonus, try to convince them patiently. 2. Sacrifices. Talk about what bothers you and what you'd like each other to work on. 3. Analyzing everything that can be annoying. Code, it's happening, means shut up and give space. Which of them do you think wrote these? I didn't see any self-help books on Chris's side, so I'm going to say Diane. I think it's Diane's. No, I don't think so. Looks to me like Chris was the organized one into making lists and all. That woodworking one's definitely his, and the handwriting is the same. Well, I can't tell from this. I'm looking at a colored square on my screen. Come on. Good catch. You're right. A mug, a boombox, nothing of interest here. Oh, those are some nice tapes. All right, well, how about the freaking key? That's what I'm really looking for here. I don't know where the key might be. Nope. What should I do? We're looking for a key, aren't we? It could be under the bed or behind something. What about the picture? Nope. Well, got it. Great. Oh, really? That didn't tell me anything. Alright, not a lot here. There's a brochure for a travel agency, a do-it-yourself woodworking book, and a bunch of letters. What do they say? Most of them seem to be from Diane to Chris. Oh wow, that's a lot of hearts. Let's see if we can find anything useful among these. So I'll be writing these to keep in touch while we can't meet. I don't know, but I'm glad you changed my mind. Look at life in a different way. We're really dumb together, but I kind of love that. Oh wait, this one looks different. There's a severe lack of hearts in this one. Kind of. It's from Chris to Brad. Looks like he forgot to send it or decided not to. Hey Brad, sorry for disappearing on you last week during your party. You see, after I walked out... Uh-oh. Oh, it's a sick party we got going on here. Listen to all that crazy music on New Year's Eve, too. Awesome. Haha, I can't believe you said that. I know, everyone was looking at me in a funny way. Wish I'd been there. Oh, hang on, I think Emily's calling me. That's alright, go on, I'll hang around outside. Or go around and socialize, meet new people, make new friends. This is me you're talking to, remember? All these years together and you still can't read my sarcasm. Anyway, good luck, buddy, I'll see you in a bit. See ya, Brad. Alright, now to get away from humans for a while. Oh, I'm in control of Chris. Excuse me, sorry, coming through. Oh, now I'm outside. Look at this nice, peaceful atmosphere. God, that music. And slow zoom. Is anyone going to come outside to meet me? I can't move. I can't do a thing. Oh, is that Diane? Think that might be Diane. I can't tell because she doesn't have a hole in her stomach. Come on. A little faster. Oh, hello. I didn't know there was anyone else out here. Oh, holy shit. I'll be heading back inside. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it because of me? No, I just don't like people that much. I don't like people. You're right, I don't. It's not that I hate people, it's just that the more I get to know them, the less I can stand them. Oh, wait, I hope she didn't think that was directed at her. Damn it, brain. You might have made me look like an asshole again. Haha, that's a good one, you're funny. Hell yes, phew, I've hopefully made a decent first impression. There's a lot more people inside than outside, so I suggest staying out here. Holy shit, is she asking me to stay? It's easier to get lost in the crowd, actually, but you've got a point. Yeah. Say nothing. Let's see what happens. It's nice out here. I was just about to say that. Well, actually, I was just about to say it's a beautiful evening, but anyway. Beautiful? Yeah, well, there's the fireflies. The fireflies, for instance. Fireflies are just flies with their butts on fire. Just the way squirrels are only rats with bushy tails, huh? Exactly, you get me. Damn it, abort the weird topic and talk like normal people, Chris. Yeah. What do you do? So tell me about you. What do you do? I don't know, I just graduated last year. I studied chemistry for some reason. I don't even like chemistry. Anyway, I'm planning to appear for exams so that I can study abroad. But I need to do really well to get a scholarship, and you know what? Forget about it. No, you were saying something about moving abroad. Any specific university that you're aiming for? Nah, it's just that I'm not really attached to anything here. I'd rather move. I want to get as far away from this place, this country even, And what do you expect to find when you get there? I guess I'll find that I'm somewhere else. That would be a good start. My name's Diane, by the way. I'm Chris. Yeah, who do you know here? So, who do you know here? Who did you come with? Or come for? Oh, I'm here alone. I came here to meet Emily. She shared a couple of classes with her. I shared a couple of classes with her. Oh, cool. Brad's an old friend of mine. Emily's boyfriend? He's a really good, cool guy. And awkward silence. Emily's got herself a great place out here. Can't wait to have a place of my own. I'd probably start smaller, something a little less modern. But still, it's quite beautiful, right? That's beautiful too? Yeah, I guess it's all right. Just all right? I think it's fantastic. I guess so. You know what? I really don't understand your way of looking at things. Haha, don't worry, I've heard that one a million times. I mean, I don't see what's so particularly special about fireflies, for instance. They're just normal fireflies, you know? Well, yeah, totally, I get what you mean. I mean, you're normal. It's just that sort of weird when it comes to I'm sort of weird when it comes to these things. What things? I kind of see beauty in everything, even the ordinary, especially the ordinary. Says nothing. Oh God, did that just sound really pretentious? You should be an artist or something then. Are you an artist? What do you do? Do you write about how everything is so beautiful? Hey, come on, now you're just making fun of me. I'm not making fun of you. What do you do? It's kind of a long story, but I guess you could say I'm a businessman. I wouldn't have guessed from the way you talk. Yeah, well, there's a reason and a story for how that happened. Maybe another time. Oh, another time? Did you just ask her out on a date? Oh, wow. We're kind of the complete opposites that way, aren't we? What do you mean? For instance, I don't really see beauty in much. Hell, I don't think I even understand art at all. It's not really about art. It's more about appreciating life. Oh, I definitely don't do that. Oh, really? That's unfortunate. Now, how can I change your mind about that? What? Why do you need to change my mind? I'm fine the way I... Plus, you think I'd change in a day? Oh, I know. That should be pretty... Oh, I know. Oh, my God. Oh, I know. That should be pretty cool. Diane, what's the time? It's about 11:45 p.m. Why? All right, come with me. There's something really cool I want to show you. What? No, I don't even know you. We'll be back in 20 minutes. Come on, it's only a minute walk from here. This is stupid, but fine. And she was never heard from again, even though she was. Hurry up. Did I just skip over something by accident? No, okay. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I guess it looks nice. I don't get what's so special, though. It's just buildings. The thought of the people living life, this moment, it's a cool view. I just think it's a freaking cool view. What, a valley and a city in the background? As dreary as my life is, I've seen better. If I were you, I'd probably be freaking out looking at sunsets from my window every evening. He probably is, actually, but chooses to say nothing. Ha ha ha, what? I was kidding. That isn't what I got you here for, but it's about to get pretty cool right about now. What? Don't you dare? It's 12 a.m., look. Oh, do they do like the lantern thing? I guess they do. So instead of lighting off fireworks, they do the whole paper lantern thing. I like it. I've never actually seen people do this in life before. Like, I know it was a big theme in Tangled, and I know that there are people... Oh, and there are the fireworks. Okay. Happy New Year. Aw, that's sweet. Okay, that... I'll give you that one. Thanks, Diane. Oh, what the heck? Thank you for playing the Rainswept demo. Your feedback is extremely valuable to making the finished game a great experience. You will now be directed to a really tiny feedback form. Please take a minute to share your thoughts. Okay. I will fill out the form, but before I do that, I do want to give my traditional verbal feedback at the end of all of these playthroughs that I do for indie games. So, what did I think about the game? One, I do like the minimalist style of it. I'm a big fan of minimalism, and I think this one was done very well. There could be a little more variety to it, though. Maybe like a couple extra layers when it comes to like definition on the characters themselves. Like, for example, playing as Michael, the shadowing on his coat is solid black. It is almost too much of a contrast between like his actual coat and the shading that you would expect to see on that coat. So maybe doing a little tweaking there. The controls are a bit wonky, so moving around is not an issue. But you saw it in the playthrough. There would be times where I was standing still and like I was moving in one direction, and then all of a sudden Michael would turn in the other direction and had the animation of walking, but wasn't actually making any progress in any direction, and I wasn't holding down the control. So there are some animation issues, it seems, when it comes to things like that. Twice I was able to actually run off the screen entirely. If it weren't for the fact that, one, I was pushing the officer with me, Officer Blunt, then I was able to talk to her to progress the scene along, I think that would have gotten stuck. During Michael's nightmare, it happened again, but this time I wasn't even able to run back onto the screen. It just kind of left me off onto the side. So if it didn't have the option to reset the scene, there was no way for me to actually continue on. So that right there is a game-breaking issue. So those things need to be addressed. The other thing that I'm having a difficult time too is that depending on which direction you're facing in, whether it's left or whether it's right, when it comes to interacting with objects, it's very I want to say arbitrary kind of in how you can get the icon to pop up. So if you're standing in one place facing to the right, you can get it to come up, but then if you end up coming at it from the other side, you have to position yourself somewhere almost completely different in order for it to happen. The other thing is that a lot of the things on the screen that you're trying to interact with are very close together, and there's a very small window with which you can try to get yourself to interact with those objects. So if you're trying to interact with one, you might accidentally overshoot a little bit and interact with the other. So I don't know if there's a way to help differentiate those a little bit better so that they can, be targeted easier, but I feel like that is an improvement that could be made as well. So despite the fact that this is a demo, I was kind of expecting to get a little more from the story, so I'm not sure how long this game is actually supposed to be. But right now, we're getting to know these characters, literally, like we've barely learned anything about them. And for the demo at least, it's a little frustrating, especially when Michael is going through having these night terrors, seeing this dead woman haunting him and everything. It leaves me wanting more, but at the same time, the demo itself hasn't established any sort of direct connection for why Michael's there and why this town in particular is making him have these flashbacks. I would have liked just a little bit more information on him in that respect. So far, because with the exception of having that ghost haunting him, he's just coming across as being this kind of like douchey detective from out of town that's trying to solve a case for a town that really has no interest in the case. So the story is interesting, at least in concept, but I feel like it's got to be fleshed out more, especially Michael's personal story, but also a little bit more with the characters themselves. And I know that they were starting to do that with this little cutscene here on New Year's Eve, but again, I want more. I want to see more. If they can polish up the controls on the game and the interaction with objects and fix those game-breaking issues where you can run off screen and stuff like that, I think this has the potential to be a great game and a great story. Now, talking about interacting with things, another issue I noticed was that when I was trying to scroll through to ask questions to all the people in the town, it didn't always click down as I was clicking. So if I clicked like bum bum bum, it might have moved down once, maybe twice if I'm lucky, instead of doing all three. Now, I don't know if that's a coding issue, if there's a reason that there's the delays and they're on purpose, but if there's a list of 5 or 6 options, which there were a couple that were approximately that long, and I'm trying to get down to the very bottom to move on to the next stage to talk to someone else, I don't want to have to sit there and continuously flick my controller down 10 or 12 times in order to try to get down to that 6th option. So if that's something that can be fixed as well, I would greatly appreciate that personally. But again, I think this game has a lot of potential. It looks great. It's off to a great start. I want to see it fleshed out more, and I hope that we get more not only from like the gameplay itself, but the story and how in-depth they can go with both the town, Chris and Diane, and Michael himself. And hopefully we can learn more about other characters too, like Officer Blunt or Grandpa and stuff like that, and figure out like if there is a little more of a deeper connection to this town, like maybe almost on an ethereal level. Now, I don't know if that's the direction the game wants to go in, but let's face it, we're already seeing ghosts and things like that, so I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility to think about an ethereal level when it comes to stuff like this. But anyway, that's going to do it for Rainswept, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. If you like what you've seen and heard, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And having said all that, I will see you all on the other side. Take care.